Welcome to the video Vort. At the very end of last week's Sedra, we read of the mitzvah of remembering to destroy the memory of Amalek. Asher karcha baderech, we recall that which Amalek did. Amalek attacked Bnei Israel. Amalek caused war with Bnei Israel. And Amalek is a terrible scourge on the history of the Jewish people. At the very beginning of this week's Sedra, we have the mitzvah of Bikurim, bringing the first fruits to Yerushalayim, and it seems that the juxtaposition of these two mitzvahs, on the face of it, have nothing to do with one another, and yet they're juxtaposed right next to each other. Rabbi Yehuda Leib Ginsburg in his Yalkut Yehuda wonders what is the meaning of the association of these two mitzvahs. The mitzvah of Amalek at the very end of last week's Sedra, and the mitzvah of Bikurim at the beginning of this week's Sedra. Says the Yalkut Yehuda, look carefully into these two mitzvahs, and both of them share a quality. Amalek is a mitzvah of Zechira, remembering. Remembering what? The terrible evil of Amalek. Bikurim also has a memory aspect to it. When the person brings the Bikurim, they have to recite a passage recalling the history of the Jewish people, where we started. We went down to Egypt. We were slaves in Egypt. Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim and brought us all this blessing and tremendous show of gratitude. Says the Yalkut Yehuda that the mitzvah of Zechiras Amalek is contending with the evil of Amalek and the fact of the terrible distress that they brought upon the Jewish people. The phenomenon of the mitzvah of Bikurim is recognizing and having gratitude for all the goodness that Hashem has done for us, the goodness in our history. Yes, we were in Mitzrayim, but we came out and we were redeemed. Says the Yalkut Yehuda, a most prescient line, that if a person is capable of bemoaning the past distress and is willing to complain about his past suffering, a person must also be willing and is responsible to also call out the goodness, the things for which he must have gratitude for. These go hand in hand. If I'm going to complain, I also have to, that the glass is half empty, I must also, it is incumbent upon me to realize that at the same time, the glass is half full. The glass is not half full at the expense of being half empty, but being honest about both. If we are honest about both, then we will be able to be true to ourselves regarding the pain of our past, and we will be able to be hopeful and confident regarding our future. For we have much to be grateful for, and therefore much to be hopeful for. Good Shabbos.